Malo, maar we willen toegang voor na mailen toegang voor je loon to why. How was the start of your 2026?
Same as last year.
Nothing much changes, does it?
No, just keep moving forward.
Well, it's good to have you here in the studio with Radio Samoa this morning. Now, Anae, can you just pinpoint what exactly you and the Pacific Justice Committee have been working on for the last how many years now?
The big thing at the moment is, the picture is simply this. We in the Pacific, which is only 16 million, have to make an application to get a visa to come to New Zealand for anything.
Yes.
We can't come for funerals. We can't come for families that are dying. Nothing. We're treated like rubbish, third citizen by New Zealand.
That's right.
Now, this is the picture that I want our people to understand. 3.2 billion people. 3.2 billion people can access New Zealand, either direct or via Australia, and get a visitor's visa stamped to their passport at the airport. The 16 or less than 16 million of the Pacific don't get treated that way.
And why do you think that is, Anae?
They've always used this word overstayer, overstayer, overstayer towards us. This is what they've continued to do and hammer us with. But then when the research was done with the dawn raids of the 70s,
Yes.
25% of overstaying at the time were the Pacific people.
Yeah.
75% were from other parts of the world, and not one of them was touched. Not one. But they raided our houses in the middle of the night.
But they were the ones who wanted Pacific Island people to come here and work in the first place.
Well, let's go through back in the history here. I'm quite agitated about what Luxon has just done with the proposal for India and other countries of the world.
Yes.
Right? They have rolled out the red carpet and they've said, if you've got $5 million, we'll allow you in.
Wow.
Right? You can
Wow.
buy a house or whatever for $5 million. So my question is this. 5 million to the people he's talking to is petty cash. Nothing. But what about the people who built this country? What about the people who built this country? Let's go back 5 or 6 generations to the Parangi world where they came from overseas, cut down the bushes and had the farms developed.
Yes.
And then we came in the late 40s when New Zealand went industrial revolution. Factories were growing. They needed people. They had nobody.
Yep.
So they allowed us in, and they allowed the Maoris to come in from their iwis to come in, right? And then we come into the early 70s. New Zealand goes through a bit of a recession, and the first people they target is us. The first people they target is us. They turned a blind eye when they needed us,
Yes.
right? But when they thought, oh, we're a burden to them, get them out. And that's what happened. So today, we have the same thing. They keep on saying overstaying. My answer to them is simply this. The overstaying figure for the Pacific people will be the same as it was in the 70s. 25% or so, and 75% will be people from other countries of the world or more. But they're not touching them. They use this as a weapon against us. So this is what I've said to them with our proposal. We want the New Zealand government to allow the Pacific people to come into New Zealand and get a visitor's visa for 3 months, stamped to their passport at the airport.
Yep.
These are the rules I've put up to try and protect the overstaying issue. If anybody overstays without an application for an extension, they will be deported for 10 years.
That's right.
10 years. Everybody says you're too hard. I'm not too hard. I don't want one person to bugger the whole thing up for everybody else. And if we don't get tough like that, this is what happens.
Yep.
But the other offset is this, I've always said. Overstaying is the creation of New Zealand immigration themselves. If you make it hard for people to come, that when they finally get the opportunity to come, they're going to stay as long as they can.
Yes.
Why? Because there's no guarantee they can come back tomorrow when they go back.
That's right.
There lies the problem within New Zealand immigration, and they won't listen to what we're trying. So what we're saying is simply this. If we come to New Zealand as a visitor for 3 months, at the end of 3 months, I can fly to Sydney or to Fiji that day, come back that evening or the next morning, and get another 3-month stamp.
Yep.
So on that basis, why should anybody even consider overstaying or breaking the rules?
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So that if they would listen to this simplicity that we put up to them and fix us and give us what we want now, that would be so simple. But this is where my anger comes in. This whole thing sits in the hands of the Minister of Immigration solely and nobody else.
That's right.
It does not need to go into a government to have any debate on this thing. She has told the world just now in a matter of a few weeks. She allows China now to come via Australia to New Zealand and get a visa at the airport. And they will do the same thing with India as well. So why can't they give us what we want right now?
And yet we're only, less than 4 hours away.
We are part of this country. Our people live here. Our families are here.
That's right.
We helped build this nation. This is part of us. How can they continue to ignore? And I'm saying, how can she continue to ignore? Because she's the minister and she can fix it.
That's right.
But she doesn't want to. She won't even put up the time to have a meeting with me or to discuss this. I've said I want a meeting with her and her immigration advisors. Let's have a debate and see where the answer really lies here. But they won't go down that track either.
And what seems to be the stoppage of all this, Anae?
I don't know, other than overstayer, overstayer, overstayer.
Yeah, but the recent figures that were released last year from 2023 showed Pacific Island and Samoans coming in at third or fourth place, where you have the US, the Chinese, and the Europeans coming in first, second, and third.
Yep, that's what they do.
So they're not looking at the figures, are they?
No, they're not looking at this at all. You know, I wrote a letter early this year to the Minister, copy the Prime Minister, copy Winston, copy David Seymour, and I said, put yourself in this position. Wear our shoes. You just had a message. Your mother or your father has died.
Yep.
Your brother or sister has died. Or worse, your child has died, and you can't come to the funeral. How would you like to be treated like that? Till this day, I have not had a response from her at all. Nothing. Ignored it as if it's going away. Well, I can give her the assurance. It is not going away. It is not going away. The Pacific people are going to fight for this because this is justice. Discriminating against us is no longer going to be accepted by the people of the Pacific. And they should start and think, what is actually happening in the Pacific? Why is China wanting the Pacific?
Yes.
Right? Do we have to keep on staying here? Are they going to give us lollies to make us want to start moving to China and other countries? This is the issues they're not taking in. But let me tell you something that I think one of the greatest things that happened in the Pacific this year. And I take my hat off to Penny Wong, the Australian Foreign Affairs Minister.
Yep.
Tuvalu has 280 permanent residence spots in Australia. No questions asked, no rules, no regulations.
Man.
Australia has taken the pundit by saying, we know that Tuvalu and the Kiribati are countries that may be underwater in the future. Everything's pointing in that direction. So what Australia has done with Tuvalu is given them a safety net. Whatever happens, we will accept you as you are and look after you. And you know what? The New Zealand Immigration Minister is still living in a cave. She hasn't seen this yet. She's not even making any offers to these people. Right? So this attitude from the national government and her ministers towards the Pacific people has to change. Having said that, I'm going to say this much.
Yep.
Not all national MPs back what they're doing. They are supportive of us. Right? They are supportive of us. Our biggest support in Parliament today is Winston Peters.
Yeah.
We should never forget that. And this is election year. And I've been singing out to our people, you can vote who you like in your electorate, but give Winston Peters your party vote. He is our own real voice in there that is helping us. He is supporting us with this as well.
Yeah. And what is the action from the other 15 leaders of the Pacific about what you're doing, Anae?
Okay, at this point of time, and I haven't seen all the details, first up on the block was Lauli, Samoa's new Prime Minister, backing straight away, saying we're into this. This has got to be sorted out.
Yep.
Sitiveni Rambuka from Fiji backs us 100% from day one. Right? The other Prime Ministers of the Pacific are all supportive of this, but unfortunately they're very slow in putting pen to paper to say, yes, we support this.
Yep.
And even though I've written to them about 3 or 4 times in the last month, it is very slow action.
Yes.
And that's because their priorities, many things.
Yep.
But I keep on saying, whatever other things you want to talk about, the most important thing is your people and their needs, right? And I know our people and the Pacific, their one need today is freedom of access to New Zealand to visit their families who all live here.
Yeah.
That should be a number one priority. And all it is a very simple email that says to Winston Peters, I, as the leader of my nation, want to support Pacific Justice Initiative for our people. That's all I'm asking for.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that by the day we go to make that the presentation of the petition, that will be there. I do know in their minds, in their body signal, everything, this is what they want.
Yep.
But because they're snowed under with so much, it goes on the back burner as not that important, supposedly, and not really accepting that this is actually very important for the lives of our people.
Absolutely. Well, when somebody doesn't answer you or cannot give you an answer when their relative, when their father or mother dies and they can't see them because of an immigration law, that's really pathetic, Anae.
Absolutely pathetic. And I want the world to know that this is how New Zealand, who likes to sit up and say, look, we're the greatest people in the world, this is how we treat our neighbours.
Man.
This is how we treat our neighbours. This is how we treat the people who came and built this country.
It's very
Through
sad.
ignorance of a minister and nobody else.
Now, you are setting up to head down to Parliament on the 11th of February. What's going to happen?
Okay, so on the 11th of February, we will present the petition to Winston Peters on the steps of Parliament. We are having this fundraising we're doing tonight and others to try and assist towards bus fares to get people from Auckland to travel to Wellington. I'm hoping we can get 2 or 3 buses from here. Yesterday, Anae in Wellington, who's really backing us down there, and they're looking at 3 buses from Pairua, 3 buses from the Hut to come into Wellington. We're talking to all our other Pacific nations in the Pacific, in Wellington, Tonga, Fiji, Tuvalu, all those different groupings to come and support us. What I want, and our group wants, and the Pacific Justice Team want, they want to see an army of this T-shirt on the grounds of Parliament, telling the people in Parliament, we are here. This is what we want. Support us. I tell you this much. If this goes to a personal vote by these people, a conscious vote, 80% of those people in Parliament will support us. They will support us. But this doesn't need to go to legislation. This can be fixed by the minister.
Yes.
So the worst case scenario, we will have to then argue to take this to a select committee process. So I'm sure we'll get past the first reading. And when we go to a second reading, they will call submissions. And there'll be thousands of submissions from across the whole Pacific saying this is what they want.
Yes.
And let's go back to the Samoan citizenship case. Right? This is precisely what happened there. I had a meeting with David Seymour. I had a meeting with Winston Peters. And they said, this is wrong, we've got to find a solution. I said nothing to anybody about that, including my committee. Because had that news got out, the National Party would have sat on them and said, you are coalition partners, you have to go with us. So this is what happened. On the night of the first reading, National stood up and said, we're not supporting this. ACT Party stood up and says, no, we're going to support this to the second reading. And so did Winston and the New Zealand First Party. At that point of time, we had it in the bag. We had it in the bag. Now we are going to a select committee process, and the voices of the people are going to be heard, and 25,000 submissions were received. And at the end of the day, they themselves were in tears listening to the people. And National had no choice but to come with us and give us 100% support. Now, if this goes to through the same process, the same thing's going to happen. And why should a minister not use her position to fix it now instead of going through this whole process for no real reason at all?
And wasting New Zealand taxpayers' money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's a lot of things we're agitating in towards the future with other things to do with the Pacific. For example, we have a quota scheme that's been going on for a long time. What happens is this. Explain this to me. How does somebody from a back village in Samoa or wherever get a job offer from somebody in New Zealand who doesn't know him, doesn't know what he can do, all this rubbish? The whole thing was set up to fail and has failed. So what we're agitating for now is this. If somebody's name is drawn, they should be issued a 12-month working visa to come and find the job and finalise documentation.
Absolutely.
That way we will get some success. Again, no reaction at this point in time. We have the same thing we're trying to agitate now with the portability of pension, which one day I want to talk to everybody about this again.
Yep.
That was done in 1999. People have forgotten. But I'll take this opportunity to remind our people. If you have lived and worked in New Zealand for 20 years or more, and you retire in New Zealand, you are entitled to retire back to Samoa or any other country in the Pacific and get your full New Zealand pension paid to you there. That is fantastic. Our people have forgotten about it. They need to be reminded about it.
Yep.
And that's one of our projects. When this is under, we're going to educate our people again. Go and get your rights. Because right now, things have changed. If we go home to Samoa, for example, with our full pension, we're living a very comfortable life.
Absolutely. And a lot of people are taking advantage of that. And but you're right. They need to be reminded of it when we finish this, the step that we're working towards. Now, you'll be working towards the 11th of February. Do you still need any signatures for the petition, or what's going to happen from now until then?
The petition is opened until the 31st of January. I'm not concentrating on that. Irrespective of what number sits in the petition, we are moving. We are going forward with our petition as it is. At this point in time, I think we've got about 45,000 that's coming. Now, I'll explain to you why that number is small. We had the QR code that we put right across the whole Pacific.
Yes.
And the QR code simply said name and an email. What suddenly dawned on me, and I'm to blame for this, I should have picked it up earlier, how many people in the Pacific, in the villages, have an email?
Absolutely.
So there lay the fault. So I went back and I said, look, I've just identified a problem here. Can we include mobile phones? And they said, no, you can't now, it's too late. But in the future, we learned something, because we know just about every person in the Pacific has a mobile phone. And that would have given a greater support. And I'm sure what I said right in the beginning, 1 million signatures could have been got. And I still believe in that. But we are learning as we go with many things. But this is not the end of anything. This is only the beginning of the fight of the Pacific people for justice from New Zealand.
And here's the $1 million question, Anae. Why are you still working so hard when you're supposed to retire?
People who retire die. And I ain't going to die yet, I tell you, until I finish my work. No, look, I'm asked that many times. Yes, the truth of the matter is I don't have to do anything for what I'm doing. But my anger is I don't like our people being treated a certain way.
Absolutely.
I'm in a position myself that I can do what I can, and I'll do that. And I'll do that until the day God takes me away from this country, from the world. That's life. And there's a lot of our people are the same, I mean, we don't sit around. What holds up our people are the resources. And what we're trying to do is find those resources, but just come with us on the journey. Come walk alongside us. That's all I've said. And I go back to 2003 and the marches we had in Samoa. And I cry at times looking, I can feel the people that walked with me down that road, the old people walking in Samoa, sitting in the puddles in the rain. And after 42 years of waiting, and 80% have died, they finally give us something. But they don't give us the whole package. And so, if only they would listen, they may learn something.
Yes.
I said to them, I want 50% of the New Zealand pension paid to those people now if they still stay in Samoa. Because you denied their rights. But no, they said, no, they've got to apply for their citizenship. They've got to get their New Zealand passport, and they can't get a pension until 10 years. Well, now they're paying emergency benefits, and the application again for emergency benefit, they have access to everything a New Zealander has. That's the cost that they've got because of their ignorance of wanting to look at the ways it should be done. And quite frankly, I'll be blunt about this. Officials who are bureaucrats have no understanding of business and its cost.
Yes.
For example, if it's a housing issue, somebody says, I've got a leak. They ring one plumber, he says $1,000, fix it. But some plumber down the road could have done it for $100, right? The difference is not their money. It's our money. We taxpayers, we pay, and that's what they do.
All right, and if the people want to get a hold of you or your committee for this event, not just tonight, but for the upcoming event in Parliament, how can they get a hold of you, Anae?
Just give me my phone's off right now. I'll come back to you with all the details. But my phone number is 021 921 941. I have a very small but effective team of people whose heart and soul is getting the right thing done for our people.
And you also have people have access on the internet, on Facebook.
Yes.
They can go onto your Facebook page, Pacific Justice.
Yes, we've got a lot of stuff out there for people to contact us. We have a very strong team based in the USA,
Yep.
who's our website driver, who's doing a huge amount of work for us.
Yep.
So I cannot complain by saying that our people don't know what's going on. We are getting reaction from all over the world about this.
Yes.
Right? This is bigger than the New Zealand immigration minister even understands.
Yeah. And on behalf of everyone, Anae, I would like to extend sincere thanks for you. You're retired. You're supposed to be at the beach, doing whatever you want to do, but you're still working hard for our people and for the New Zealand government to do the right thing by our people, not just Samoans, but also by the Pacific people as well. So without further ado, this morning, I would like to extend you an invitation to finish us off with something for our listeners and for our audience today.
Thank you very much. Look, the work belongs to each and every one of us. It doesn't matter how old or how young we are, but we all have to accept we have a responsibility to correct the errors that the New Zealand government continues to do to us as Pacific people. We are part of this country. We are their neighbours. We have built this nation. The days are over when we as Pacific people are going to sit back with our respect, our whālualo, which governs our lives, and the Palangi looks as that as a weakness within us. And that has also controlled our assertiveness to get things. So I'm saying to our people, always retain and remain and be driven by whālualo. That is our Pacific way. But don't allow us to be walked over by people.
That's right.
When things are wrong, we have to stand together and we have to demand what we want. And all I'm asking to all our people, come on the journey with Pacific Justice. Pacific Justice belongs to each and every one of us. And you all are part of Pacific Justice. Let's get out there and let's make this happen for the benefit of all our Pacific people. Thank you very much for the opportunity this morning.
Thank you for coming on to the program, and I have a wonderful weekend. All the best for tonight, and we will walk beside you until the journey is finished. And good luck with the function tonight, and of course the event coming up next month.
If they love it.
Yeah. O le nau mai mōma whāwhunga mai le tātou turu o le whionga ia Anae i le ting vaenga o le Taeao ia o le ting tai leo le vaenga o whaegoina o le Pacific Justice o lo whina wina ia mata upu mo le Pasifika e misi tātou o le e fia malanga mai ni tā whao mai ma malanga asiasi mai ia mo whaanawalawi fwoi ma Malu ia ai pia whaawhainga tā fwoi le o nisi o tātou e umā le Malu kango le Malu whaile aigo le Malu koe ka ape le Malu alai re iba wa kwa se kali me le ofisa o whi malanga ai o le sa no me le fionga ia nei se ma fu me le minister